Hello, good people. Thanks again for tuning in to Find Ways to Win. My name is Fitzgerald Stevens. I'll be your host tonight. Just want to talk to you guys about another interesting topic entitled, How is your plan going? How is your plan going? I like to think that all of us have plans, even though it doesn't seem. If we all start out with these dreams and these places we want to be in our lives, and these time limits of what we want to be in our lives, and we some of us even dare to write them down. And some of us dare to even take action to do it. And some of us, and a few of us, dare to even achieve some of those plans as far as our lives. Many times along the way, you're going to find out you're going to have to make adjustments to your plan. It has been my experience that often the plans the times do not work out exactly the way I think they should or when I think they should. I found myself having to make adjustments like many people I've talked to, people who have achieved great things. I've heard one time that a overnight success sometimes could take 20 to 30 years. And I'm of the opinion I believe that because you don't see the work that's behind the scenes. You don't see what a man or woman has to be, who or what a man a woman has to become in order to achieve the goals that they're trying to attain for themselves. And you in order in the first the one of the first components, and a major component, should I say, of achieving a goal, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan that breaks that down into steps that you need to take, action points that you need to do, and combined with time frame. So if for those of you who are actively pursuing your goal and actively putting the action in and the massive work to what I have stated, I salute you. That is vital. For those of you who are picking it up and picking it down, putting it down, picking it up and putting it down, yeah, it's time for you to pick it up and take up the baton and run for it. For those of you who through circumstances of life and other a million reasons that are unique to all individuals. No, maybe it's time for you to dust off that plan and get back and engage in it, and to go ahead and actively pursue it. We God doesn't give us these things for no reason. We have this desire in our heart that we want to achieve more, we want to do more, and we want to have a certain goal in our head that how we want to live. And many people, unfortunately, are not living out how they want their life to go. Like say when they was a teenager, or maybe a young adult, or maybe while they was in college, just shortly after they graduate. Because a thing called life happens. That's why you have to really really have flexibility, and you have to have tenacity when you are working your plan. So I say, hey, how's your plan going? So I'm talking to the audience right now, assuming you already have one, assuming that you have a plan. Now, I'm not talking to those who don't have a plan. I'm not talking to those who don't have a definitive vision, where they're trying to go. I'm certainly not talking to those who are running on a hope and a prayer, and I'm just going to see what happened and all that kind of conversation that just benefits no one. It's foolish talk, and we can't just sit around and make things to happen. A plan, pen, paper, or smartphone, whatever you want to have that plan or plan written out. That's something you can look at it and get the mind refocused and recentered on it. Now, why is it important to write it down? Because there's something magical when you take this and you put it to this, or you take this and you start typing in your notes section. It's something magical that happens right there. It's almost like it takes it out the wish list and helps really embed it in your subconscious. And once things start coming in a part of your subconscious, your subconscious, provided you are really really doing the work, and provided you're really really rooting the weeds out of your mind. What I mean by the rooting the weeds out of mind, detrimental thinking, stinking thinking, defeatist thinking, defeatist talk. You got to you must get rid of that. So those are the weeds that's going to really choke your subconscious mind out, as far as for achieving the plan that you want. Now, to give you a little idea about the subconscious mind, and I came upon that really, really about 20 plus years ago, when I read Napoleon Hill's book Think and Grow Rich. It talked about the power of the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is that part of you that keeps working. In other words, you can how many of you have thought of a song, or a movie character name, or maybe an elementary school teacher, and you for the life of you could not remember the name. You could not remember a certain formula. You could not remember how you put something together, or and then you forgot about it. You put it out there in the atmosphere, you forgot about it, and you went to sleep, but your subconscious mind didn't. As far as what your subconscious mind was job, it went into the files of your memory. And it searched for an answer, search for the solution that you have already had within you. And then lo and behold, maybe you're on your way to work, or maybe you're on the bike trail, or maybe you're in a gym and doing something, or maybe you're just with someone at a dinner date, with a dinner date. All of a sudden, boom, that idea comes right in your mind. That person comes right in your mind. You can use that like, gosh, I want to make more money. I want to build residual income for myself. I want to start my own business. I want to be a great athlete. I want to be an Olympian. Whatever, and then your subconscious mind will come out, and it will start talking to you. Okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Honing your ability, honing your talents. This is who you need to stay around. These are who you need to stay away from. These are the conditions you need to be in. This is the conditions that you need to stay away, because if you do this, it's not going to adapt. It is not going to work to your benefit. So, now, how does this relate to a plan? How did this relate? The subject. How's your plan going? Well, that's a very, very thought-provoking question. For some people, it can make really sad. Like, man, my plan, I don't got a clue. My plan is not going anywhere, and I don't even know a plan. Well, we're not here to beat anybody up. We're never here to beat anyone up. We're just here to just talk to you and just try to awaken the winner that's already in you. That has been buried through maybe repeated failure, through repeated setbacks, through disappointments. Things happen that was not your own fault and stuff like that. So we're just trying to undust the you that you wanted, that you envision yourself to be. Okay, but now when we look at what we're going to be doing with our plan, how we're going to be working at, how we actually went over the steps and evaluate the steps of what we need to do. Okay, we have that. Then once you have that, are you doing what you need to do? Are you disciplining yourself in what you need to do? For example, I like going to the gym. I like working out, and I just it's a great way to alleviate stress, and plus I just like the feelings that working out a good strong free weights and machines and cardio gives me, how it makes me feel. I just like the great feeling I get from it. Going to the gym now at 56 is much more difficult than it was at 26. At 26, let's say 30 years ago, I was more energetic. I was lighter. My body could recover faster from injury. So many things. I had shortly graduated out of college. And so I had all this youthful energy and things, and I was crazy strong. I remember times I would go in and just warm up with 225 on a bench, just do it. Sometimes it was I knew I could. Sometimes it was just showing off and showing both, but I was just freakishly strong and fast, far as for my size and everything. And so I just loved doing it. I would make time to do it. I could wake up on a dime and pretty much well like that. Now I still have a very good strength for my age right now. I still have a things, the desire to work out and desire to keep my body at a certain peak and certain freshness of things. But sometimes I don't have the discipline that I automatically had back then. I have to really work and make myself do something that was very, very easy for me to do. Have I changed? Yes. Have I? But has the goal changed? No. What was the goal, man? I wanted to have a in fit body. I want to have my body muscular. I want to have my mind sharp. I didn't want to look my age. I just wanted to be in very, very good shape. And I knew I had to. I had to hit the gym, and I had to have a fitness routine. That still hasn't changed, although the way I do it now has changed. The way I work out right now has changed. I don't necessarily do a lot of free weights like I did, but when I was younger, especially when I was like an undergrad at Alabama, I don't swim a lot like I used to, like I would at times. But I don't walk anymore like I do because for various reasons. But I knew that, okay, I still got to do my cardio. I still got to get that in. So how am I going to do it? Because I just can't go ahead and I just can't go ahead and keep hitting the free weights all the time. So what did I do? I went out and bought a bike a couple of years ago. And I found out that I really enjoy riding on the bike trails, especially I got a great bike trail down here in Tampa where I live. And going to that trail, it's like a nature park reserve, very, very tranquil, very relaxing. But I'm sitting out there, getting the cardio in, and sometimes I don't want to do it. And so, but the goal, but I remember the goal, and the goal was, hey, you know what? I want to be in shape. I don't want to be sucking medicine, in my later years. I don't want to be out of breath. What good is it trying to get to a point where you're getting financial free, or you're certainly working towards, or working at being able to travel and do things with people who are important to you, if you don't have the energy to enjoy it when you finally get out there. So that's one thing that really drives me, that keeps driving me going to the gym right now, and doing a number of things. That's my trigger. And I was talking to an individual yesterday. We was talking about triggers, and sometimes people can associate triggers in the negative, and sometimes people can, more importantly, associate them in the positive. You have to have triggers in your life. Other words, certain sounds I hear. There are certain songs I hear. I could hear a song like by Sting, and it reminded me when I had one particular song, "Fragile." It reminded me when I was doing some incredible recovery in the hospital back for 25 years ago, when I had to have a bone marrow transplant. And that was a song I kept on repeat. And it was really, really easing my mind for the very difficult decisions I was going through back then. I've listened to that song today. That song still brings me peace. If I need to get fired up, I made a last stream and talked about the importance of music to me. It's certain songs I pull out of my repertoire. I've been listening to some of well over 30 years. And they have this impact on me. They get me going. They get me jacked. I'm not a drinker, or don't have any type of really vices like that. But I still need ways to self motivate. And I still need triggers that are going to cause me to want to do what I know I need to do. Okay. And so that's how I keep myself fresh. And that's what I recommend that you start getting in your life. Triggers. Now, we also could have negative triggers like, I'm going to get to it. Well, I know I should be doing that. I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to quit smoking. I know I need to drop this person out of my life. I know I need to take this course. I know I need to get this license. I know I need to acquire this skill where I can get the advancement right there. I know I need to go back and probably complete my degree. I know I need to start that online business. I know I need to start that working on residual income. I know I need to learn better communication skills. Where my relationships will be bigger. Anyone that people can pick. We know that, but doing that is a whole different thing. I got a great plan right here, but I'm going to get to it working one day. Ladies and gentlemen, time is limited. Time is very, very limited. When I just ran that off, when I was saying 30 years ago when I was working out, well, God, I remember there was a time, there was a time where I thought, something like 27, I thought that was old. I remember being an undergrad at the University of Alabama with a couple of my friends there, and we would have, and there would be homecoming football game, and a lot of people would often bring their campers, and they would park at a building called 10 Horse, and we would keep your mind clean. It was HOORS. It was the poli-sci building, and they would bring their campers there, and then former students would come there or and bring some of their friends and stuff. And then keep in mind, we're undergrads, so we're like 21 and 22 years old, 20 years old. And so some guy would show up there, probably a previous student. He's coming to the football game like 27, 26. And literally, I would say to my friends, what is that old guy doing here? And they were like, yeah, I was wondering the same thing too. Keep in mind, we're 20. We're calling someone 27 and 28 old, because that was our perspective back then. To us, it was. And we thought once we got up like the 30, or like, oh, wow, it's really, really up there. I mean, and then like lo and behold, boom, I wake up, I'm in my middle 50s. I don't feel like that. I don't. I wonder sometimes, how do I got here? But the time is going by. Have I achieved all the things I want? No. Do I still have some goals that I'm looking to achieve? Yeah. Are some of them very, very important to me? Yeah. But right now, I think what's happening to many of us, we understand how fast time is going by, and we understand that the time is now. So we have to make adjustments, to work our plans in order to achieve our goals. You're going to have to do that. It's not that, maybe it's not necessarily the plan. Maybe it's not necessarily planned, far as what you need to throw out. Maybe it's the activity and the steps that you're using to achieve the plan. Now, it would be foolish for me to say I want to go and be a professional baseball player. I don't have the skills now. I'm way past my prime, physical prime, as far as with that. At one time, I literally wanted to be a professional bodybuilder. I had all the Muscle Fitness magazines, and I collected, and I worked out like a dang beast and stuff like that. But I wanted to, but I never had a plan to do it. There was a guy back there. He was about my height. His name was Sean Ray, and Sean Ray was a up and coming superstar. Back in the 80s and stuff. But I saw the results of what the guys were doing, but I didn't pay the price for the diet. I didn't pay the price for the working out. I didn't pay the price for treating the job, because it really wasn't a plan of mine. It was a wish. Now get the thing. So I didn't write anything down. I would go in the gym and I would work out with, really, I had a strategy how I wanted to look, but I didn't have a commitment for the goal. I said, if I want to be a bodybuilder. Well, what am I talking about? Could I have achieved it? Absolutely. Absolutely, I could have achieved it. Provided I knew where I was going back then, provided that was something strong enough for me to put a plan together and the commitment level to get it. So we often have to look back and let's dust off our plans. Let's take a strong evaluation after this video ends. What I want you to do, first of all, if you don't have a plan, I want you to take time to really write out the plans to get to the goal or the goals that you're trying to achieve. Remember what I said on prior stream. We're going to use 10-meter targets. We're not going to try to could solve the whole goal, solve the whole goal or accomplish the whole goal in just one instantaneous moment. But what we are going to do, we're going to set 10-meter targets. First down, first down, first down. Many of us love football, and I'm a huge football fan, especially Alabama Crimson Tide. My alma mater, I just love that team, and got a couple of NFL teams I like to watch. But in the game of football, it's not necessarily the score a touchdown and on every play, although a touchdown is the goal. That is the goal. But the plan is, let's get first downs. That's the plan. Give me 10 yards. Give me 10 yards. Every time I get the ball, I want 10 yards. I want first down, because once I get my first down, the clock, I get a chance to reset for 4 more downs. If I get 7 yards, well, it's on the first down. Well, the second down is going to tell me it's 2nd and 3. In other words, I have to make up for those 3 yards on the second try. Okay, if I get when I go for my third try to try to get that first down, if I'm getting 2 yards on the second attempt, I know I got to get 1 yard on the third attempt. And third, I know it's 3rd and 1. And once I get that, I know I got four resets going down there. You have to think the same way. Let me get small, measurable targets that I can achieve. Let me get small, measurable targets. Let me just keep getting first downs. And pretty soon I have enough first downs without turning the ball over. I'm eventually going to get a touchdown. Very, very important. You have to break it down like that. So when you take this and look at your plan and say, okay, what have I done so far? First of all, you start the conversation off. Okay, what have I done right? Not necessarily sitting up there saying this isn't working, but what have I done right? You look at that, and say, okay, how can I build on that? Then you take the other ledger, run like a balance sheet. What did I do that was wrong? What do I need to eliminate? What steps I need what steps and processes that are not serving me? And then you just eliminate those and focus on the steps that trying to get you to the goal. Now, I assume that your goal is worth fighting for. I assume that you're not on the wrong goal, although many of us, or should I say some of us, have been on the wrong goal. We wasn't really following what we were created to be. We was following what someone told us we should be, and told us that how we should operate, and based on what we think and things like that. So we're not really following something that's for us. And how do we know if we're following something for us? We're passionate about it. We would practically do it for free. It really doesn't seem like work to us. Because if you find something you really, really want to do and you're really passionate about, you just love it. There are some people who are passionate about tennis and they turn that to a living. There are some people who are passionate about building computers. There are some people who are passionate about lawn and gardening. There are some people who are passionate about trees and bird watching. There are some people who are passionate about writing and stuff like that. So it's not really work to them, although they do the work to achieve the goal. Okay, I had a circumstance that happened to me years. Lord, probably like 18 years ago. I was in the hospital visiting an individual. Now, while I was waiting out in the lobby room, a lady just out the blue walked out to me and said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a salesperson, salesman." And she looked at me and she said, "You don't belong there." I said, "But I'm good at it." I'm good at it. I that's how I make my money. She said, so what that have to do with anything? And I did do and I did sales, and my career has been in sales, but I've never really loved it. I mean, I never really loved it. What would you have loved to do, Fitzgerald? I would want to be a teacher. That's what I want to do. I will want to be a teacher. That's what I was passionate about. That's what I was gifted about. I would have wanted to do public speaking, like maybe being an author or conference speaking. That's what I was really passionate about. That's what I can do on a whim. That's what I can do with someone wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The sales stuff, I just had to work, and a lot of times I had to drag myself out. It's still, even with the business I do now that involves sales, it's still the same thing for me. I started off doing it for the money, and eventually I just wound up staying in there. Eventually, I had lost sight of really wanted to be the conference speaker, the author, even though I will be great at it. But it's just a matter like, did I put in the right effort? Well, the answer to the question is no. Have I starting up with doing my YouTube channel and doing speaking not right now? Yes, I am. So that goal never left. I just had to dust it off and said, okay, you're older right now, so you're going to run faster. You're probably going to run triple speed now, because you're not 20 anymore, and you can't never make up for that time, but you got to accelerate the time for what you're trying to do right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know you have to really evaluate your plan. How is your plan going? How is it working? Are you actively pursuing it? Are you actively looking to put the pieces together, combined with the necessary action steps in order to make it achievable? Do you have the realization to come to, like, this, maybe I need to incorporate some other component in this thing to give me a piece of wisdom I don't have in order to achieve it. Or maybe you have to say to yourself, I never really want to do this anyway. This is something someone else gave me. I don't want to do this. Okay, that's fine. Put it down. Now pick up and rewrite your plan out again for something you really want to do. Oftentimes when many of us, as we start aging, or we have an epiphany, or we have a moment where maybe some boss says something crazy to you, or maybe you look like you're in a situation working with a job, and you like, man, hell with this. I can go out there and make my own money. I can do better. Now I don't need nobody to keep talking to me like that. But forget this stuff. There's no such thing as security. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to get out there and create my own way. Well, I salute you. I salute you on that. But saying it and doing it is two different things. What's your plan? What do you want to do? What's your good product or service? Or I don't even really want to. I want to be a type of entrepreneur that I just create residual income by way of online, and I have residual income coming to me so I can live anywhere in the world. Well, that's one of my major goals, and that's something I work, because you know what? I want to travel. I maybe want to spend a significant amount of time in other countries, and still keep my U.S. citizenship. But I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to go on a whim and experience different places, different cultures. So I'm the type of man, I can't really be tied down for a job. My mind doesn't think in ways of, like I'm going to retire on this pension plan and just ride off to the sunset, because that's tying up too much of my time. So whether I decide to become involved in my network marketing business, my referral-based marketing business, whether I decided to get involved with my crypto business, which I do both right there. You'd like to learn more about that, just click on the link, and you get more information that's on my website. I just want the affordability where I'm just financially free, so my money's working for me, not me working for it. Now, and so I have a plan. I'm actively working that plan. Maybe some of you guys like myself, you have plans that to get your body back in shape. Some of you, maybe you're tired of taking medications. Maybe you're tired for the way they're making you feel, and you want to get back to, to a weight that you used to be, or even exceed the weight that for you want. Maybe you want to build muscle, and maybe you want to build endurance. Maybe you want to do a couple things. Well, maybe you want to be a chef, a culinary chef. It's not too late for all those things, but understand you only have a limited amount of time. So, and you have to also have the ability to stick to something. You cannot keep starting something, putting it down, starting something, putting it down, starting something, give that a little time. It's not working at the time frame you said, and then you're off to somewhere else. You're moving to something. You're moving to some other city. You're changing relationships like you change T-shirts. Things like that simply shows you don't have a commitment. You don't have commitment. Sometimes you got to stick with tough situations in order to see them through. What if Stephen Jobs would have gave up on Apple, when they was trying to get funding, or Google would have gave up on their thing, or Jeff Bezos, or Robert Johnson, or John H. Johnson, for the former owner of Ebony magazine, what they would have gave up on their stuff. You're going to run into tough situations. Get used to that. Expect that. And just because the situation is tough, that don't necessarily mean that you tuck and run all the time. You have to establish roots. So what am I saying for that? When you have your plan out into something, this is not something to wish that you're hoping of. When I talk about your plan, when I talk about your goal that the plan is written for, I can wake you up 3 o'clock in the morning. You can clearly tell me what it is. That's the type of focus and commitment I mean. But you're gonna have to work. You're going to have to be able to stick to it. You're going to have to be able to pay the price to make it come to pass. And you're going to take some setbacks. Sometimes you're going to be flexible in your plan and how to achieve the goal. Maybe you're going to maybe instead of running a straight line, you're going to have to zigzag a lot, which often that's how success comes. And so you got to be able to do that. And you got to set your mind to the point that I'm willing to pay the price to make I'm going to work this plan to make this goal come to fruition. So when I say what's your plan and how's that going, in essence, the biggest thing I'm going to say, are you disciplined enough to keep working that plan? Are you disciplined enough to go through the tough times in order to enjoy the great times? I mean, are you disciplined enough as far as to do that? I mean, are you just one of those individuals, hey, I'm just going to give up. I've been trying this about 3 years. I've been working with this situation, 10 years, 15 years. I just don't think it is. Well, before you scrap and throw away your plan, could you possibly look at yourself and say, am I doing the right steps? Am I giving it my 100% reasonable effort? Have I given it my 100% reasonable effort? Is there something else I need to learn? Is this right for me? No. What do I need? How do I need to, do I lack discipline? You have to have these hard conversations with yourself, and you can't play with yourself, because you know what? In the scheme of things, time doesn't care if you get the plan or not. It's going to still keep running. I'll say that again. Time doesn't care if you get your plan or not. It's going to keep running. It don't care if you get your goal or not. It's going to keep running. Listen, 5 years, if the Most High gives us breath in our body, is going to come whether we have our plan or not. The question is, are you going to be 5 years into your plan or living in your plans, or are you going to let 5 years go by and you're trying to still figure out whether you want to really get started? The time goes by, and so it's up to you to really figure out how do you want to make that time work for you, as opposed to making the time work against you. And so take time to really evaluate what you're doing. Take time to really put pen to paper, critical thought on it. And oh, by the way, bring someone else into it to look at something, especially like a person who has achieved the goal that you had the plan written out for. Shoot them an email if you're fortunate enough to have these people in your circle, like I do with some of these individuals. Run this by them. Here's my plan, and here's my step. Here's my goal. Here's my plan, which is synonymous with my steps for getting there. What do you think? And give me an honest opinion, and be ready to listen. Don't be so defensive if they disagree with you and say, well, hey, you need to do this, or you're, I hear you talking about your plan, but I'm not seeing you out there working it. Don't get all so offended and up in a thing. Okay, take it for a grain of salt, because remember, you asked them, and then apply some of the experts, because remember, they're walking in the goal that you already said you want. They're walking it. They're financial free. They're built. Many of them built residual income. Many of them have bodies like Adonis. They're built and they're cut and they're doing all the other things like that. They have achieved their body goals. Many of them have gotten themselves in optimum health. Many of them have accomplished a lot of things you want to do. So they've accomplished the things you already say you want to do. So ask them. And once they give you the advice, take it, work on it. Humble yourself to throw your way of doing things out the window and incorporate the voice of someone else. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for evaluation, because what, ladies and gentlemen, no one individual has all the answers. We need counsel, and the Holy Bible says, in the multitude of counselors, there's safety. You have to have counsel. You have to, you can't always go at everything alone. Some things are not made to be solved individually. So some things require a brain trust, a group to help you or to achieve your thing right there. As great as golfer as Tiger Woods is, and Phil Mickelson, as great as tennis players, Serena Williams is, as great as basketball players, LeBron James, and many of these great business leaders, Grant Cardone and Elon Musk. I want to bet that they have mentors. Bill Gates talks to Warren Buffett. And Jay-Z, he's talked to Warren Buffett. So someone who can add to you, someone who can enhance what you're doing, someone who can give you a shortcut. Because if your way is not working, you need to bring someone in, and just evaluate what you're trying to do. And don't be too proud to do that. You want the goal. That's what you want. You want to achieve the goal. And so what we also want to reiterate that if you're not willing to put massive action behind your plan, if you're not willing to put massive action, which translate into massive working, how long do I put massive action into it, Fitzgerald? Until the goal is achieved. If you're not willing to put massive action, that tells me, that tells others, and that tells each and every one of us ourselves, and we know that we're playing. If you're not willing to put the work in, you're playing. You're just having a nice talk, and that's not going to get it done. No, and so you have to understand that goals, the plan to achieve the goal, and the massive action to activate it, to make it come to pass. There is no way around that. So hopefully we're giving you guys some couple things that can be beneficial to you. I know if you apply this, I know it will work. This has been tested by me and millions of other people who are much better than me and who came way before me and still doing it the very day. You have to have those components, because sometimes when I could say, like, how's your plan going? I could also make a subtitle, are you actively working your plan? And you alone know the answer to that. And if you're not actively doing that, you need to stop lying to yourself, and you need to just sit up and say yourself, I don't really want it. If you are doing it and you're actively working towards it, kudos. Keep doing what you're doing, and you're eventually going to get the breakthrough. Keep doing what you're doing. You're eventually going to get the breakthrough. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't quit and don't give up. Just keep pressing and keep pressing and keep pressing. and bring that counselorship in and bring that mentorship in that you're going to need to pilot that. Perhaps that individual can give you that one key nugget that can be the missing ingredient to get you to the breakthrough, and also take advantage of that. And so this is Fitzgerald Stevens. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in, allowing me to come in your living rooms and in your workplace and wherever you are in this world. I appreciate that. Please hit the like and subscribe button there. Please let me hear from you. I love hearing back, as far as from the audience and their viewpoints and things like that. We appreciate you guys, and enjoy a credible day. And remember, find a way to win, because you are a winner. Appreciate you guys. Bye.